Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to round number 17 of the NSCA Cup Series 2023 season. I'm once again joined by Cody Goforth as we get set to go racing here at Iowa Speedway. Iowa's a pretty fun, little over 3/4 mile track. Wouldn't you say, Cody?
I would definitely say so. It's had some great racing in the past. It's had some pretty nasty wrecks, all things considered, for how small of a track it is.
Yeah, especially off turn 2, because we've seen cars bounce off that turn 2 wall here on a number of occasions, and that's caused some nasty hits both to the inside and outside walls. Hopefully drivers have learned their lesson, though.
Definitely so. Hopefully, but
Yep.
but Iowa, beautiful place. Driving up, saw all the cornfields and all that. Looks so nice out here.
Yep, and of course the real life announcement that the Cup Series is moving there goes very hard as a rap album cover,
Oh, it really does.
as I demonstrated by posting both on the NASCAR meme subreddit and on Day 500 Champs
Discord
Discord
server.
server.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so starting on pole is Alana Kiro, who it looks have her season start to actually turn around here, although she was at one point the highest placed driver in points for Steven Merzlik Racing, which is very odd to say considering how much of a championship contender that team was, especially Steven Merzlik, who actually, hey, look, he's starting third. Craig starting second, then you got Cody Hayner in fourth. So hopefully Hayner does not have a fuel pump issue this time and actually is able to complete more than one lap. Yeah, Blade Runner in fifth, the third Steven Merzlik. Wow, all three Steven Merzlik cars starting the first three cars on the inside lane. Anyways, Arnstruff is sixth, Foxen seventh, Dillon eighth, Hancock ninth, and last week's winner, Ray Takita 10th. So definitely turning that season around is the Axiom Racing Union. So, and of course, it was a thrilling race. Not necessarily a photo finish, but definitely a fuel mileage race where several drivers were able to stretch out their fuel, including Takita.
Eda managed to stretch her fuel all the way after one stop, which was very impressive as everybody else pitted and ended up holding off the dominant cars of that race.
Yep. Speaking of which, Cole Dillon is, like I said, starting eighth. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do. Of course, Alana Kiro, like I mentioned, she is starting in the pole position here, so it'll be interesting to see what she can do here from that
Cars are
position.
rolling.
Yep.
I'm so sorry about that.
You know what? I guess we're just running the wing for the third week in a row.
You gotta remember
No,
to change it
no,
next time.
no, fourth week in a row because I just remembered I haven't changed it since Toronto.
You gotta change it next time, man.
In my defense, I've not actually exited the game for contextual things since we just recorded Orlando. Anyways, pace
That
car is off, and we are racing at Iowa.
as you get a view of the fans.
Yep, because I keep forgetting the Tyler Mellon EXE gets rid of all the or gets rid of clipping for the camera. As Merzlik already getting around Crago here for third. In fact, Crago is losing several spots already on the start here. It's the same Merzlik 1, 2, 3 here.
Crego is stuck on the outside, which is not where you want to be around this short track. This is a one-lane track. It's gotta hug that bottom line, hug that yellow line.
Yep. In fact, Merzlik actually just took the lead from the 77.
Using the bottom lane. And
Yep.
Crego is still stuck on the outside.
As is
Nowhere to
Hayner.
go. But hey, Cody Hayner completed more than one lap this time.
Yeah, in fact, he might complete 2 laps here. Actually, he did complete 2 laps. It's already lap 3.
He's more than doubled his lap count from last week.
Yep. Ricky
Good job.
Foxen up to third. And Hancock up to fourth. Of course, Hancock, not too disfamiliar with the front of the field here at these kinds of tracks. He pretty much dominated Richmond up until the incident with the lapped car that took him out of the race effectively, even though he was able to finish. As now we see Foxen now getting around Alana Kiro for second.
Good move by Foxen right there. But now they got to chase down that 4 of Steven Merzlak, who's starting to pull away.
Yep, and now Hancock's under fire from Heflin for the 5th position. Scrago's been able to get to the bottom, as has Hayner. In fact, Blade Runner is now the one falling back as he's stuck on the outside lane.
Blade Runner, as you said that, was able to tuck back in line.
Ooh, but not for long. They are 3 wide now.
That might not go well. Through line turn 1 never works well.
And Blade
Except
Runner
for
wisely backed out of that.
worked well this time, pretty surprisingly.
Yep. Crago and Heflin now around Hancock, and now here comes Crago trying to get around his teammate, try and take 5th away. Foxen, meanwhile, is closed in on Merzlak in the 4 for the lead here.
Foxen has started to gap Alana Kiro. Foxen looking really strong today.
Yep. Kenningberg looking to the inside of the 7 as they head into turn 1. Hancock not able to get to Heflin before Crago cleared the 6th or cleared the 13. However, Crago has an issue sliding up in turn 3. That allows Heflin to get back to the inside for the lead. Meanwhile, up front, here comes Foxen on the 4 for the lead.
Looked like Craig got a little bit tight, middle of the corner back there, but here goes Foxen trying to make a move into turns 3 and 4. And
we'll
make
clear.
we'll make it look easy.
Hancock once again not able to get to Crago to try and make a move. As we'll see O'Quinn now getting around the 98 of Bishop.
But it looks like the 4 Merzlak's trying to get back at him.
Yep, Foxen not able to pull away from Merzlak. She's trying, though, to keep the lead here. Merzlak still hounding her, though. As I see Kenningberg now to the inside of Kiro once again. And will clear Kiro this time around.
As we see just cars trying to find some rhythm and some rhyme to their car. Of course, we may be seeing some pit stops here at Iowa, and pit road is notorious for having some issues getting on pit road.
Oh, we definitely for sure will see pit stops. It's a 160 lap race. Almost a tenth of the way done with it already as we see Merzlak now to the inside of the 8 for the lead. As Bishop is now just being freight trained on the outside here.
That's what happens when you get stuck on the outside of one of these short tracks. No grip up there. It's dirty. It's slimy. It's like you will spin if you're up there.
What kind of high lines are you racing on that are slimy?
It's a rubber buildup, man.
I would call that dusty and dirty, not slimy, personally. But you
It
do
depends.
you.
I mean, some tracks I've been at where like the outside does not work well, it gets very slimy until it gets rubbered in.
Okay.
What?
It's not how I would describe the outside lane of racetracks, but like I said, you do you. As you'll see, O'Quinn has gotten around Hancock for, I believe that is 7th? Yeah, 7th.
Good lord.
Meanwhile, Hayner's trying to
You
get back into the top 10, getting around the 2 of Vaughn. Of course,
I'm
interesting.
still
Go ahead.
I was about to say I'm still stuck on the fact they've never heard anyone call it slimy. Have you not watched a NASCAR race?
I have not once heard anybody call an outside lane slimy. Right?
It
Well, any
is.
type of lane, I should say.
They say it pretty often actually.
So anyways, so interestingly, last week at Orlando, we did have one driver miss the field, and you're looking at him right here. It was the 12 of Ian Wallace. So maybe issues for Ford or Team Penske brewing.
I wouldn't say Team Penske or Ford because his other teammates did just fine. Maybe he just maybe something happened during his qualifying run.
Who knows? All we know is that did not help him in the standings at all, considering he is still deep in the standings compared to his teammates. Of course, one driver who did have a good run was Erica Reinhardt. You see here just outside the top 10 here and running about 15th, I believe, or so, maybe 16th.
Um,
We'll see what positions he scored
P
at the line.
P fifth P would be
16th.
P16. Yeah, you're right.
I learned a thing or two from not having to use the manual ticker
You
in
learned a
game.
thing or two because you've seen a thing or two.
Yep. As the top two have really pulled away, and Fluxon is really just settled for second at the moment.
Don't want to burn your tires up.
Yep.
Gotta be patient, make your move when you can, and try not to waste too much time battling for a position. Because that more you battle side by side, the harder you have to turn, the more your tires wear.
Not only do the more tires wear, of course, we say that she now makes the move here going into turn one, but that also draws in others to try and foil your plans, as it were.
Very, very true.
As you'll see, Fox and send it going into turn three. It almost made contact with Merzak in the middle of the corner there.
Good job not wrecking each other right there. Merzak's still just right there.
Yep. Of course, Merzak is a two-time champion of the sport, so I would expect him to have some patience behind that wheel, as frustrating as this season has been, even with that win at Rockingham earlier this year.
Merzak just right there, just biding his time. Maybe he can look at the line he's running to 3 and 4. A lot lower.
Yeah, his car is practically running on rails by the looks of things. Looks like Henningberg's actually pulled away a little bit from Alana Kiro in the 7, and Max O'Quinn has kind of reeled that driver in. Of course, interestingly, Ilana Kiro actually drove the 29 car in her rookie season before moving to Steven Mercyke Racing. So,
Interesting tidbit right there. I didn't even know about that.
yeah. Yeah, both Kiro twins were teammates at one point for a couple of years before before Alana moved over to SMR. And then opened the 29 for Irishman Kellef O'Sherwood, who, after driving the 29 for one season, fucked off to Formula One again. And then in came Amy Walsh, who at the time then had that team switch to the 44, with the 29 car being a new third entry for Pathfinder Racing that Max is driving. And then, of course, midway through the season, Cody Goforth got into the 44 because Amy vacated it.
Well, now that's an interesting little story right there. And I saw on the ticker, Could Go Forth has worked his way back into the top 20 after dropping back a little bit.
Yep, as we're trying to find him, but the cameras, of course, suck ass at this track. Oh, yep, there he
There he
is.
is.
In the McLean's car this time around.
This was this already on the car, or is that because of me?
That's because of you. They replaced Bojangles. as I call
Okay.
them.
Bojanglies, huh?
I know it's Bojangles, but I start,
Now
I thought they're my West Coast ass thought they were called Bojangles.
you're good. You're good. Could have go for within the Michelin's car, making some really aggressive moves right now, trying to
Yeah,
get around William Montoya in the 99 car right there.
yep, 3 Fords all right in the line there as well.
One of them a Penske car, which we documented earlier, and then go for just flat misses the corner.
Yep, that's gonna open the door for Steffi Plaxco to do nothing with that opportunity, as per usual.
Yeah, that's per usual. Go for misses it again. You see the back end kick out a little bit, maybe front end lock up for under that car.
Maybe driving aggressive isn't the greatest thing, especially at a track with a bit higher tire wear than usual. Wink,
Very
wink,
true,
nudge, nudge.
especially with a slimy outside lane.
uh, Meanwhile, one driver that has been falling back all race since basically the drop of the green flag has been Hancock. He's now fallen outside the top 10 in that 3 car.
Nearly missed the corner there. Looks like the 43 washed up. Is Goforth gonna be able to take advantage to get underneath him?
Her.
Her.
Go forth Will, and
Whoa! Bit of an aggressive move right there by Goforth.
yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little bit. I mean,
As we see,
I mean
Merzlik
that.
has gotten back around Foxen at the front.
Remember, Goforth does come from a dirt track-ish background, and that is stuff they do on dirt all the time. But this is not dirt. This is asphalt, and you hit someone here, they'll probably be pretty mad at you later on.
Yeah, it's not like that doesn't happen in dirt racing too, to be fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
As we see Kenningberg and O'Quinn battling for third position. While we were looking further back in the field, looks like O'Quinn managed to get around Kenningberg, but Kenningberg has now gotten back around O'Quinn, and Crago is back up to fifth now after getting around Alana Kiro. And Hayner's up to seventh now. Heflin back to eighth, with Bishop and Lamas running out the top 10.
Llama's just been quiet today in that really good looking ally scheme.
Arguably better than what has been run in real life the last 3 years, if you want to include 2024 in that, especially the 2022 scheme, which I'm not even calling a scheme. It is literally just 3 stripes.
That's all it was, yeah.
Like, it's like if you take away one of the stripes, they're basically running the one of the special edition Dodge Chargers and Challengers.
Yeah, very fair. That's very fair. As the 99 tries to send Cody Lamas up the track, William Montoya not able to do so.
Of course, there's also a reason why Cody Lamas is a 4-time champion, and that's the reason why. He's not easily intimidated or moved, as we see him now try to make a move on the 84, the driver with the inverse of his number.
That are not even close to being teammates.
These guys couldn't be any further from teammates. Cody Lamas has been a All-Star Motorsports lifer, while the 84 is still driving for only his second team, neither of which was a Chevy team. The first one was Craigo Autosport back in 2020, if I recall correctly, driving the 46 for that team, and then moved over to Wolfpack Racing in the 84 car in 2021, where he's been ever since.
And they are side by side behind this 84.
Yep, and that is Goforth getting around the 99 of Montoya finally, as the 2 of Vaughn and now the 43 of Evans Russ get around the 3 of Hancock. Hancock really slipping back early in the going here. And I don't think that's just because he's stuck on the outside line. I think that might be like a legitimate issue with the car.
I mean, 43 was doing all right, but this is gonna get interesting down here in the Let It Go and to see what is wrong with that 3 and maybe a pit stop will help them out.
Well, who knows? All we know is up further up front, Cody Lamas is making an aggressive groove. Wow, aggressive move on
I
the
mean,
98 of Bishop, and now Armstrong is going to try and take advantage and maybe crack the top 10 himself here.
it could be seen as an aggressive groove, the one that Lamas is running. Oh my
As
god!
Goforth definitely has an aggressive groove there.
Oh my goodness, Go! That's like 3 times Goforth's gotten that close to wrecking people, and he's doing a great job keeping it off them, to be honest.
Meanwhile, back up front, another lead change. Foxen back up front. Who knows how many lead changes these guys have had while we were away. All I know is
Very.
they've definitely checked out from the rest of the field.
Yeah, no one's even close to them right now.
Also, 4 different manufacturers in the top 4. Actually, make that top 5.
Very good job by those guys.
Yeah.
Oh, a lot of these drivers showing off that, hey, we may not be doing great on other types of tracks, and uh-oh. Aggressive groove versus aggressive groove. Cody Lamas versus Cody Goforth.
Battle of the Codys.
Battle of the Codys. Which Cody's gonna win out? Looks like it's gonna be Goforth.
Actually, I would argue that it's Cody Hayner winning right now.
Fair, fair point. Goforth cleared. And by the way, that's a rookie that just passed a 4-time champion.
To be fair, Cody Lamas has canonically been racing since 2002 in the Cup Series full time, so.
Good point. Very valid. Valid. And I think this puts Goforth in the top 10. Have yourself a day.
Yep, in fact, Cody Lamas is now running 11th. Heflin is running in 10th, with Goforth moving into the top 10.
Goforth started, I believe, down in the 18th position, so he's been quietly working his way up through the field. Trying to get.
I wouldn't say quietly, I'd say aggressively.
He hasn't wrecked anyone, so I'd say that's pretty quiet.
To be fair, nobody has really wrecked anybody. We see the 37 running in position 37. I don't
Yeah.
think you're supposed to be running in the position that your car number says.
Well, a lot of these drivers aren't able to be
Well,
completely fair.
well, yeah, to be fair, there isn't a 99 car field anywhere.
Well, probably Le Mans.
Not even Le Mans. I think the most cars they've seen there lately has been in the low 50s. Though it could be wrong. I don't know. I don't follow endurance racing.
Let me see.
Yeah, well, Cody looks that up. Craigo has caught the 82 and the 29, who've kind of not necessarily settled their battle, but are at least taking a break from it for now.
There
As
is six. There was 62 this past season.
oh hey, that's my car racing number.
They're Jacob Craigo cars this past season.
Or if you want to do an extended version out there, a Brandon Gunn number of cars there.
Oh, true. Very, very true.
As we see now, Steven Merzlak making a move on Foxen for the lead. Not that they're in danger of losing that spot at all whatsoever.
Nowhere even close. Like they're like 7 or 8 seconds in front.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say that. I would say more like 6. I don't know. What was it at the line? Oh yeah, only like just over
Only
3.
like 3.
3 1/4. Oh, as apparently the 83 has come down pit road. Oh, Calvin Richards out with a camshaft issue. Apparently.
Early on in the race, not what you want to do. Not what you want to have happen.
At least he made it more than quarter of the way.
At least he made it more than Cody Hanner did last week.
Or what Samuel Henson Jr. did at and Steven Merzlak to that extent as well at Toronto. Because Henson Jr. also did not turn any completed laps at Toronto, and Merzlak only made it 1 before crashing in the exact same place.
I'm still looking for the I'm still looking for the thing. Attendance record for Le Mans. Okay, that's just attendance. Um Yeah, it looks like they only allow like 62. But it was the most since 2011 this past season.
Well, that's good to know for future reference.
In
As
case you need
in case you need to know, yeah. As the Merciless actually pulled kind of slightly ahead of Fox in here. But that could just be Fox and just bidding her time until pit stops.
maybe so, maybe those tires.
Yep. As O'Quinn really is kind of just continued to lead the 82. Crago's been able to hold on the 5th and Alana Kiro 6th. Although that might change here as Cody Goforth trying to look to the inside of the 7 through 1 and 2.
Cody actually is now the highest running Cody right now. Go for his driving.
Yep, and there he goes, sending it in turn 3.
Once again.
That's been really the one passing opportunities. Now he's going to try and make a move on Crago, but Crago is able to hold on.
I'm sure Craig's looking at his rearview mirror and be like, who the heck is this guy? Because they're not used to seeing Goforth up here on pure pace.
I wouldn't necessarily say who the heck is this guy, but who the heck does this guy think he is?
Probably so. Probably. That's probably more accurate, to be honest.
In fact, a lot of drivers have been on record saying that on the radio, including Crago in the
As
past.
Goforth clears Craigo.
Yep, and that moves the 44 car up into 5th spot, just 2 spots behind his teammate in the 29.
Goforth having a really good run right now. This is probably a career day right now.
No, you know who's having a career day? Max O'Quinn in the 29.
Very, very true. Having an absolutely amazing run. Two of the Pathfinder cars are having great days right now.
Where's the 3rd Pathfinder car? The team owner.
Oh,
There he is.
there he is.
Running. Well, the checker's already on the opposite end of the field, so I don't know exactly where. I'd say probably
I'm gonna
18th,
guess.
19th.
I was gonna guess 17th.
Well, we'll find out here in a moment. As I see Cole Dillon now looking to the inside of Seffi Plaxico just behind Hunter Kiro.
Cole Dillon, the dominant driver from last weekend, didn't end up coming to fruition. Didn't end up in victory lane, but had an outstanding day.
And he needed it considering the string of bad luck he's been running. He was outside the top 30 in points going into Orlando. I couldn't quite tell if he got into it.
19th.
Called it.
Good one. Nice one.
As you see, Maddox sent it on Sean English. Also, I still want to take a moment to talk about Dylan Maddox.
Feel
So
free.
he was the black sheep of Steven Merzlik Racing in 2019. Because after Steven Merzlik's rookie year of 2018, he expanded that car straight from a single car operation to a 3-car operation. As we see Sean English get back around the 59 here. The 2 drivers he brought on to that team was Tyler Blade Runner, who's still there, and Dylan Maddox. Now, initially, Dylan Maddox was in a 44 car, Tyler in the 77, and Merzlik in the 7. They did a little number swapping where it was then Maddox in the 7 and Merzlik in the 4. Well, in that initial first season where Maddox was in the 44, he got his so far only career win at Armory Digital, like I mentioned last week at Orlando. But he otherwise was pretty much a backmarker driver. It's part of the reason why he was fired from Steven Merzlik Racing after 2 seasons of running for that team, which is when Alana Kiro went to the 7. Since then, Dylan Maddox has driven for, a couple of other teams. So moving over to Queen City Racing, which was a backmarker team, not qualifying for a combined 24 times last season, and then they go off and are now having a career season for that entire organization, including the Daytona 500 earlier this season. And Dylan Maddox is running in the top 15, I think practically in the top 10 in points right now. So honestly, he's having a career season, and honestly, I hope that he's able to stick around. He's definitely proving that he does belong on the grid this season so far.
Very true. Very, very true. Having a great run right now. Just trying to figure out what they can do as we're somehow getting close to halfway. Hold up.
Short track, short laps. Crago now getting back around Goforth for fifth. Meanwhile, up front, Merzlik still leading the 8 of Foxen.
I think Foxen's just starting to settle in now. Goforth was holding his own on the outside. Eventually came and just had to concede so he could save some of his stuff and make a run at him in the next lap.
Yep.
Is he gonna do the same move to Crego that Crego did to him the previous lap?
Well, it's going to try going into turn 1 here. Crago
Crego's
having none of it.
Crego's gonna throw the block. Mary Goforth's been known to send into turn 3.
Not able to do that time. He's at the quarter panel, though. Meanwhile, just in
See-
front of them, I guess Kennyberg looked in his mirror and said, I'll have some of that move, and is going to try going on O'Quinn through 1 and 2, actually side by side, as is Goforth on Crago.
And there goes Goforth.
And 2 rookies making moves simultaneously in turns 3 and 4.
And they work. And now Crego's losing a spot right there to Alana Kiro.
And Alana Kiro's like, think you may have another, and we'll try and take the spot away from Crago now.
Ooh,
Hayner sent it into the corner there. Hello.
Hayner's seeing the other code sending it like, let me try this. And now Crego's sitting back here like, just happened.
I mean, to be fair, at least Crago isn't Hancock, who's now fallen back quite a ways, sitting in 30th position after starting near the top 10. As it looks like the 23 is reporting a wheel issue. And in fact, Lana Castillo is coming down pit road right now.
So tire may have popped because of the way they're driving.
Could just be general type of defective tire. Who knows?
Maybe flash spotted it trying to drive it in too deep and locked him up.
Could be. We don't know for sure. All we know is, where did the 23 go? Huh? Oh, still on pit road. Okay.
Coming off pit road now. Gonna stay right where they need to be. Perfect job.
Now the question is, does this open the pit window, or?
I mean, we are past halfway.
Yep. Because here's the thing: is despite being 2 laps down now, I don't think that necessarily opens an advantage for the 23 car, but Keshiel is now on much fresher tires, by like half a race distance worth of fresh rubber, and can easily make up time while everybody else has to pit. But here's the thing, she'll be on old rubber by the time everybody else pits, and she'll start losing time.
It'll cycle around, but maybe she can get far enough ahead of the rest of the field in order for that to not affect her.
And the other thing is, she won't be as on old of tires when everybody else pits.
Very, very true.
So she won't lose as much time as everybody else will. Problem is, she is kind of in some heavy traffic here.
Dealing with some heavy traffic, which will, once again, kill her tires.
Yep.
She's just driving it in deep. They're seeing these tires like, maybe we need a pit here. Just look at the grip advantage.
Yeah, Keshiel definitely saying, you know what? I don't care if how abused these tires get. I don't care if I just had to pit because of a tire issue where I abused them too much. I'm taking advantage of them while I can.
Hey, use them while you got them. And that's
Yep.
gonna open. That's gonna leave the 29 out to dry, which is gonna allow Goforth to go underneath his teammate right there.
Yep. It might have caused Kenningberg to lose a spot here as three rookies now battling for the third position effectively.
Which is very good for all three of these guys, really.
Yeah.
Goforth into fourth. Goforth goes fourth into fourth. I had to.
That was a horrible pun, you know, Cody.
But it was a good one.
Exclamation mark black number 44.
No, please.
I'm kidding. I'm not actually going to do that.
I know. No, it's just funny.
As we
Yeah,
see,
that's just the 23 on those fresher tires. Good grief.
now, Merzlak and Foxen navigating lap traffic naturally.
Natural lap traffic is, I mean, definitely something I expected to happen.
Foxen
And I'm just,
really tried to get to the inside of Merzlak there, not to interrupt, but couldn't quite do it. And it was as you were saying.
I was about to say, I expected it to happen a lot sooner than it did, but we are now in natural lap traffic.
Yeah, and
But,
Fox. Oh, Merzlak's coming down
oh,
pit road.
so about 10 laps later than the 23.
Yeah, well, 11 or 12 laps, yeah. So does Foxen come down? Who else comes down pit road as we see Goforth?
Goforth passing Kenningberg to get into the P3 position. There
Now we
goes
see
33.
King, and interestingly, the 8 of Foxen stays out. Kenningberg comes down.
But a lot of people staying out here.
13 comes
We're
down.
gonna
3
There's three
wide.
wide. Oh boy.
All of them Ford drivers, 2 of them teammates.
They might be waiting to see a caution here, possibly. Oh, keeping it clean. Good
Oh,
work.
that would kill Steven Merzlak right now. He just
That
pitted and he's now like a lap and a half,
two
2
lap.
laps down.
That would have killed him.
Eh,
And Troy 3 gets one of the laps back.
yep. As I see Keen comes off of pit road. I don't think anybody pitted this time by.
Doesn't. I
Oh
see a
no,
couple people,
a couple people.
but not the race leaders.
Oh no, Foxen came
Oh,
down this time by. Cody Goforth is now the leader.
Cody Goforth going to lead some laps here today.
Well, maybe a lap. Interestingly though, smaller packs of cars come down pit road every lap.
Goforth has Goforth has a really nice gap right now.
Yep. And Goforth does not pit, nor does Hayner.
Interesting strategy here.
Well,
Llamas comes in.
as does Bishop.
Very intrigued to see the strategy of that 44 and that 0.
As the 37 will remain a lap down to the 8 at the very least, as Foxen stays ahead of Crown Jr. coming off of pit road.
But now is the overcut going to work for that 44 car?
Oh, but this is big here. Foxen ahead of Merzlak just ever so barely on the pit cycle.
Very, very true. That could be the battle for the race lead right there.
Merzlak's going to try and get around the 8, though.
Oh, a little bit of contact.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Merzak was trying to run higher to avoid the pitting traffic. Foxen now loses a bunch of time. But here's the thing. Foxen has several lap fresher tires.
I think Goforth came down.
I think so. Yep, there's Goforth right there.
Now, does Goforth cycle out in front of these guys, and how's the overcut work?
We will find out. Goforth comes off of pit road.
Now, where are the race leaders? Or, I'm sorry, the 8. There's the 8 right there. There's the 4.
Yep.
This may just worked out perfectly for Goforth.
I don't know. Nomina is there, but I don't know if Nomina was in danger of going a lap down. He's ahead of Kenningberg.
That is true.
Well, we'll
I
find out
guess
here. Here comes the ticker. We'll see if it's properly updated.
waiting.
And Merzlak is the
Merzlak!
leader. Fox in
Fox in
second.
second.
Nope, Kenningberg
third.
is third. So Nomina a
That did
lap
not
down.
that did not work for Goforth at all then.
But you know who it did work out for? Alana Keshiel. She's in fourth.
Ilana Keshiel, how about that pit strategy, but with much older tires?
but not by
And
but not by much older. Also, I forgot to adjust the size of the lap counter for the ticker. It's because now it's saying 100 out of 160, and the zero's cut off.
but remember, Goforth stayed out longer than anyone else, so he has the freshest tires in the field right now.
Well, not well, along with some other drivers, but he is
Of
behind
the
people.
of the leaders,
It'll be interesting to see how the Alana Keshiel gets along in all this, considering she was the first to pit a full 10 laps for everybody else.
yeah, she was forced to pit. This is gonna be interesting to see how that car handles.
Does the tire issue give Alana Keshiel a possibly undeserved top 5?
This is gonna be very interesting to see.
Is the tire difference going to really be that great to give Alana Keshiel a significant disadvantage compared to everybody else? Ooh, this is juicy. We are within 60 laps to go here at Iowa.
As we see a freight train of cars starting to form up here.
Yep. Foxen has caught Merzlak.
We're about to have a
Interestingly, though, they've kind of left Fedor Keen in the dust. Crown Jr. has been the only one to keep up with them so far.
very, very true.
Kenningberg has lapped the 80. And while Keshiel's been reeled in by the 84, it's not been by significant chunks as we see Alana Kiro get around the 29.
Gonna be interesting to see how this tire strategy plays off for a lot of these guys.
Yep. It's definitely spread out the field a lot more than anticipated. Foxen is now in the lead.
Foxen makes a move, makes it look easy, makes that pass.
Last one for Ricky Foxen came in 2022, early on in the season, if I recall correctly. Of course,
I mean, you know better than I do.
started her career in her rookie season driving for the now defunct Factory Dodge Autosport team, which really was a backmarker team, just lucked into a win at the Charlotte Roval course back in 2020, if I recall correctly. Then drove for Krieger Autosport in the 51 car for 2 years. Then just was not. Then was kicked from the team for not performing in those 2 years. And I was driving for Bledsoe Brothers Racing in number 8 car.
Gonna be very interesting to see how things shake out for Foxen. Can Foxen hang on for dear life?
Yep. As I see Roberto Crown Jr. for some reason hounding Merzlak now. Maybe trying to get back on the lead lap here.
Maybe.
As Kenningberg has caught the door keen, but still has the 80 of Jensen Nomina right on his tail. Although that could be advantageous to Nomina considering he is a lap down as well behind Keen in 36th. Oof. Last car running on track as Keschel's now lost 3 positions in the span of one turn, but it looks at.
Yeah, those tires are starting to. The tire cliff has dropped off for that number 23 team.
And I can already hear Jeff from the F1 game saying, "Come on, you can win that place back." No, I can't, Jeff. My tires are on 60, 60, 75, and 60.
Oh no, my tires are dead. Ooh, a little
Ooh.
bit of contact.
She is trying her damnedest to try and hold position, but she just is not
She does
having
not
it
have
work.
she does not have the grip. She's about to get passed by the 84, and then right behind the 84 is that 44 who led a couple of laps.
Yep. In fact, I think Armstrong was actually stuck behind the 23 of Alana Cashiel there. So Armstrong definitely did not gain any spots because he was running behind the 23 there for a little while, and he's now back behind a bunch of these guys. We see Alana Kiro now getting around Crago for, if I recall correctly, that is the 4th position.
That would be the 4th position.
As Kenningberg and Nomina have gotten around the 33 of Keene. Crown Jr. has passed Merzlak. And Hancock started up towards the front, has just slid back all race long, and is now in danger of going a lap down to the leaders, running all the way outside the top 30. And now Crago in danger of losing the spot to Dylan Maddox.
Maddox had a great couple of weeks.
Just
Had a
really having a great season, like I mentioned earlier.
Finished P2 last weekend, looking for another podium finish here today.
Hayner's
Cody
gotten
Hayner.
around the 23.
Yep. That 23's pit strategy. I don't know. It's gonna be
It
interesting
looked
to see.
big brained there for a moment.
It did.
Kenningberg beginning to pull away just a little bit from the lap track behind him. Really, I
Fedor
think
Keen.
it's. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that Fedor Keen just trying to ride around right now might be looking to just do anything to just try to pass people on track.
Well, he's going to at least gain a spot here because that 80 car is for position.
That is for position.
Yep.
Keen trying and will make the move work. Fedor Keen
Up to
just
35th.
having a rough one. Crego trying to. Uh-oh. Here. That is not what the field wants to see. The leader with probably the freshest tires of anyone else, but he missed the corner.
And that
Remember
brings Arnstruff all the way from battling side by side with the 13 of Heflin right to the back bumper of the 44 of Goforth.
Goforth is a rookie, so he will make a couple rookie mistakes here and there.
I don't know. Fantastic day for the Pathfinder racing duo of Goforth and O'Quinn, though. From troubles in Toronto, the less said about those, the better, to now running in the top 10 here at Iowa just a few weeks later.
Goforth dropped losing spots though because he got trapped on the outside lane
Yep.
and he's
Craig
getting freight trained.
Crago still being hounded by the 59 of Maddox for that fifth position. And yes, that is fifth position because Monacuro's fourth, and you have to go all the way up here to Kenningberg for third. You have to go even further forward to Foxton, who's been passed by Crown Jr., but looks to maybe re-lap the 37.
And
All the way here for the lead.
Foxton has pulled away from Merzlak.
Yep. So this is really Foxton's race to lose as we are closing in on 30 laps to go.
Now the question is, do we pit again?
Well, no, because we pitted 10 laps past halfway.
I forgot about that fact.
Now, if this race was, say, 180 laps,
Might be having a different story.
might be having a different story. If it was 200 laps, oh yeah, for sure they'd have to pit again.
Goforth gets back around a bunch of the cars he was racing around. Holy crap. Holy cow. I almost messed up there.
Crago, meanwhile, losing 2 spots. He lost one to Maddox, now he's losing another. O'Quinn.
And now Goforth on the back bumper of Crego.
Also, call me crazy, but does it seem like Alana Kiro's catching Keen?
Yes. Alana Nakiro is definitely catching Keen. It looks like Crown Junior's actually got some pace.
Tis a shame he didn't have that pace earlier in this race and is currently a lap down.
Very true.
In that definitely brightly colored, hard to miss 37 car, or 37 Great Eclipse car, I should say.
Yeah, definitely so. And then missed the corner. As we were talking about him. Commentator's curse, I guess, right there.
Now, a commentator's curse would then be pitting immediately after mentioning them.
True. Even then, pitting would not really harm them all that much.
Yep. See RJ Bishop side by side with somebody. It's kind of hard to tell because camera angles suck at this track. Where did RJ Bishop go? There he is. Now Blade Runner side by side with Echo Evans Ross. Cole Dillon's making some moves. Alon Kesho continues to slide back as we are within 30 to go now.
30 laps to go. Now is the time for tires to come into effect.
Goforth really missed that corner there. Maddox has gotten around Kiro for fourth. So now it's 4 different manufacturers in the top 4. So it looks like Foxton has started to pull away from the 37 just a little bit. Merzlak hasn't really slid back any further than he already has. Kenningberg still has not really pulled away from Nomina. Keen is, in fact, being reeled in by the really, I guess you could call it third group of cars, second group of cars. I don't know how you'd classify it as.
50th group of cars. At least that's what it feels like, because there's so many just different clusters of cars just running all next to each other.
Yeah, because you have this cluster of cars that lasts from back all the way to this battle at the tail end of it between Hayner and Heflin. Then you have a small gap back to a group led by RJ Bishop that ends, well, really with the three of Hancock, and then you have the 3 or 4 cars that aren't really closer together, but you can still really I guess you can still call group with Fox and Crown Jr. and Merzlak, and then of course you have the pairing of Kenningberg and Nomina, and then you have in no man's land Keen.
Goforth's starting to make some moves again. Those tires might be playing a thing, but I think he's still way too far back to even think about making a move.
Yep, and of course mistakes can lead to being passed, like we saw earlier.
But Goforth's still having a really good run. A solid top 5 day for that 44 team. Definitely needed after. I mean, he got top 10 at Pocono, and then he should have had a top 10 last weekend, but then the pit strategy did not go his way. He finished just outside the top 20.
To be fair, pit strategy did not go a lot of people's ways at Orlando.
Very good point. Goforth working over Maddox. Maddox does not want that 44 to get around him. But I think sooner or later, Goforth's going to put the bumper to the back of that 59 car.
41 laps to go now here at Iowa. And Foxen is starting to pull away a little bit from Merzlak, so it really is Foxen's race to lose at this point.
It really, really is. Foxen has just been so fast today. The only person who's been able to touch them is Merzlak, and Merzlak is fallen way behind right now.
Yep, the adjustments made on that 8 car seem to have really improved that handling of that 8 car. Merzlak, meanwhile, adjustments may have improved the handling, but not to the degree that Foxen's has.
Foxen's Foxen's adjustments, they definitely found what feels like and looks like 10 mile an hour.
Yep. Of course, Kenningberg, I would say, is having a career day right now, but of course he has that win earlier in the year at Atlanta.
Yeah.
And Keene has been caught by the second group of cars.
Goforth still stuck behind Maddox right now.
Ooh, Maddox slipped in the middle of the corner.
That allows the 44 to just drive right around him.
Yep, looks like Maddox actually got a little loose.
Maybe was trying to mirror drive a little bit and just missed the corner.
It's possible.
I mean, that's why you're doing a lot at this type of track. You're not really looking out your front windshield when someone's right behind you. When you're just riding around, all you're, oh, all you are doing is just making sure no one seeing what move people are making.
Yep. But of course, the 33 had the check in the middle of the corner, which caused Go for the check in the corner, and now that's going to allow Maddox to get right back by the 44 here, just a few laps later.
Along with Alana Kiro, just following right in line.
Yep. But Keene blocks that 59. It causes them to check up again. But there was nowhere for anybody to go because Goforth was already on that outside lane.
Goforth had to check up because Kiro started washing up the racetrack slightly. Goforth got to get back in his rhythm.
Goforth has the opportunity to cut back in front of his teammate. Doesn't in the corner, but also doesn't lose any time, interestingly enough. Still has to get around the 33. Keene wants to get a hope of getting back into the top 5. Just about puts the bumper to the back of that 33 car.
Goforth is starting to get a little bit angry right now.
I think we're like starting to reel in just a little bit.
I don't think he's got the time.
I don't think he's got the time either. But one thing I should mention is Lana Keshiel has now been passed by everybody.
Is Keshiel gonna just stay out the entire time?
Well, Lana Keshiel kind of has to. I mean, she
True.
effectively split the race in half for her stops, and she can easily make it the rest of the way if everybody else is able to make it the lap 90.
That's fair. Fair point. I Merzak might get there.
I guess it really depends if Foxen is held up by Keshiel or if she's even going to catch Keshiel.
I mean, catching them is one thing.
Passing
Passing
is
them is a
another.
whole nother.
Time to go at the line right here. Can Foxen hang on?
See the car just snap on go forth middle of the corner right there.
Yeah, but it's not going to lose any time to the 59 of Maddox. Of course, Goforth, as well as Crago and O'Quinn, have gotten back around Alana Kiro, interestingly. Ooh, but Kiro washes up the track just a little bit. Maybe a little bit of dirty air there that time around, because it doesn't look like it snapped around on him.
Dirty air is a big thing here. And then Goforth just drives it down into turns 3 and 4 once again. That is probably his best portion of the racetrack is 3 and 4.
Yep. Doesn't look like the car's stuck, though, as Maddox stayed ahead of him at just as far as he
It
did.
snap right there. It snaps again. Goforth starting to overdrive a little bit.
Yeah, and doesn't help that these tires are really worn out. As Foxen is being closed in on by Crown Jr.
But Merzlak's not closing in himself.
Yeah.
But look right in front of the number 8.
Yep.
This is gonna get interesting if if Foxen gets held up at all by the 23.
Yep. Because that would allow Crown Jr. to get to the inside of the 8. That would allow Merzak to close in.
Which could lead to a great finish.
Yep. And could lead to a very, very pissed off Foxen.
Definitely. 23 is down the bottom. Exactly what's happening. The 8's starting to wash up because the dirty air.
Actually, I think Foxen got loose in the middle of that corner, not so much dirty air. But the fact that Alana Keshiel's really fighting to stay on the lead lap here is not helping Foxen at all. As Foxen gets loose off the corner, that's going to allow Crown Jr. to get to the inside. That's going to allow Merzlak to close in as we are on 4 laps to go here. But will it be enough for Merzlak to catch? As now here comes Crown Jr. to the inside of Keshiel.
Merzlak's going to have to drive the wheels off that race car now. Foxen's going to get inside of Keshiel.
3 to go.
Does Merzlak have the time? I don't think so. It's going to take It's going to take at least a lap to pass.
And that's assuming Merzlak isn't held up by Keshiel because Foxen has gotten back around. Coming in the 2 to go.
But will Foxen be held up by Roberto Crown Jr.?
I don't think so. I think Crown Jr. is going to pull away just ever so slightly.
Gonna get very interesting here. How long does it take Merzlak to get there? I don't think
Merzlak's going to get there. He's still behind Keshiel. And Keshiel's really blocking Merzlak. 1 lap to go for Foxen. That might be all Foxen needed. Merzlak's to the inside of the 23.
Too little, too late.
Crown Jr., a non-factor. Merzlak too far back. Off of turn number 4. Here comes Ricky Foxen. She's going to get Bledsoe Brothers Racing first win in a long time at Iowa.
Great day for Foxen and the entire team. And the Goforth drops back a lot.
Yep, and it's going to be the 59 and the 7 rounding out that top 5. As we see a whole heap of cars coming across the line here.
Yeah.
And there's the 37 once again. Oh, I did Control F2. I did not want to do that. Whoops. All right. Foxen, Merzak, Kenningberg, Maddox, Kiro, Crago, Montoya, Goforth, Heflin, Hayner, the top 10. So, pretty interesting day. So, the only driver out of the race, Richards with a camshaft issue. 3 cars down a lap. Well, that was an interesting turn of events down at the end of that.
Got very fun, to say the least.
Definitely. So, well, that does it for Iowa. Cody, once again, thank you for joining me up in the commentary booth.
Once again, thank you for having me, man. That was a lot of fun.
All right, so next time around, it is Chicagoland returning to the schedule. Should be an interesting race, though, with luck I've had the last couple of times here outside of Orlando and Iowa. Eh, does sometimes you have duds, sometimes you can't win them all. Well, but we'll see how it goes next time. So until then, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you at the next race. So long, everybody.